BJP down by a couple of pegs, right? What has happened now is the BJP has regained all its lost momentum with these election triumphs, and the opposition is further behind of where it was before the 2024 results.
No, look at all the talk that happened with those 99 seats that the Congress got. Did you see the language that was used? The word, they were celebrating a defeat while trying to mock a victory. That was the tone. And look at how they behaved, what they called the Prime Minister,
I think what is different,
the conduct of the person who's supposed to be LOP in Parliament and outside.
So may I say, Anand, that what strikes me is that the opposition is still fighting the same campaign they were fighting last year, whereas the BJP is constantly evolving and fighting and changing the game in every election. Whereas RJD and Congress are fighting the exact same campaign as they were doing a few months ago.
Anand, if you compare 2024 and now, I have argued that 2024, the voters of India gave every party a democratic dividend. And it's only the BJP which has encashed that dividend across 4 state assembly elections. And if you look at the Prime Minister's speech just now, he very interestingly emphasized what I would call 4 S's. Social justice, Sushasan, social coalition and security. And I think it's around these 4 that he is seeking support, and it is these 4 issues which have been critical also in the campaign that they had launched in Bihar.
No, but Sujata Pandey? Ji.
So I would say that this election is a combination of double engine plus double credibility. Because Modi brings in the trust and Nitish Kumar reassures that trust. The promises that were done, people thought and believed that ki ye to kar dega. Because there was a history also. So I think the voter as at large is sending a message that look, I will not just rely on your promises, but I will also do a background check as we do in every job. So if you say I will bring this to the table, they'll do a background check.
2-3 big messages also. Like while we talk about all this, Zaka Jacob is also here, and Priyam Gandhi Modi. One, Bihar se Ganga Bengal behti hai. First big hint towards Bengal that they want to push and energize the cadre towards a message in Bengal. Then he's also come out and attacked the Congress party and said the Congress will be divided in future. You saw that and you said, oh, did he say that? But if this is how it goes, look at what Dr. Tharoor said, and it's just tying into the coinciding with the sentiment there.
Exactly. I don't think that at least some people in the senior people in the Congress will now come out, ask for democratization of the party. That's one of the big takeaways from today, from Prime Minister's speech as well as the results, is complete decimation of the Congress, right? Like why? Because they keep on, they're sticking to that internalized they're making the minority narrative too big, and that has isolated the majority vote bank, which has moved over caste politics now. So they are simply not able to connect and consolidate anything more than this hyper minority the narrative.
It's like minorities also not voted for Congress, Anand. So they have lost the seat, lot of seats, minority seats as well.
JDU, they moved to the JDU.
So that's what I'm saying. So even minority is not buying the logic.
The 4 seats, and I spoke to Asaduddin Owaisi, I'll play out that conversation in a bit. He has, I think, just as the same or maybe around the same number of seats that the Congress has. 6 seats that the Congress is leading in, 4 of those seats happen to be in Seemanchal. The problem though is, and I think the Prime Minister made that point, that it's been reduced to a Muslim League Maowadi Congress. Now, he might have meant it as a political attack, but at the end of the day, if you're winning 4 out of only just 6 seats, this is the worst performance of the Congress party since the last 30 or 35 years. If this is all that the Congress party can do, then I think it has restricted itself to a 15-20% sort of vote party, and it has nothing else to offer, and it's getting reduced to that in the second most populous state in the country. I mean, this used to be the upper caste party at one point of time. A section of Dalits were associated with the Congress party. Today, it has been reduced to a under 20% party representing just the minorities.
So, Zaka, the Congress is now exactly half of what it was in 2024 in Bihar.
Yes.
About 1/3 of what it was in 2020 and about 1/4 of what it was in 2015 if you look at seat share. The other point I want to make on the Muslim seats, out of the 53 odd Muslim dominated seats, India has won 40.
Correct.
India has won 8, out of which Congress has hardly won won 5 of those, right? So,
Yes.
so that is also because of counter mobilization. But the fact of the matter is the Congress's message is not resonating.
See, even in Seemanchal, which is supposedly, the hotbed of polarized politics in Bihar, the Congress has not won anything. It's won barely 4 seats out of the 35 or 40 seats that are there in Seemanchal. I mean, a bulk of those seats have either gone to the BJP, 1 seat has gone to the JDU, and look at the other green that has suddenly now popped up. I mean, it's a fascinating story for me. He had the exact same number of seats last time, Asduddin Owaisi. He had 5. 4 of those MLAs joined the RJD. He's won in those exact same seats with new candidates. So what does that say? The voter is basically saying all these parties, Congress, RJD, etc., which has taken Muslims for granted, we're going to send them a message now once again. This is the second time in 5 years that they're doing this. So I think, the Congress has some very, very critical, almost existential questions that it needs to answer. Rahul Verma is here. Is it leadership? Is it message? Is it picking the wrong issue? I don't see the Congress party now. I mean, in the morning we had people saying, oh, it's the only national alternative. I don't see that being the case at all anymore.
Won't there be Congresses who would be sick of this? Those are 13 se ab tak chal raha hai. Is there a point when the Prime Minister says Congress is going to get divided because there will be many? That G23 group came. Now perhaps they may get more momentum to say, boss, this is not working. You're not even working with your own alliance partner, and you've dragged your alliance partner who's supposed to be a strong person in the state down. Yes.
Yeah, so an hour back I was on a similar show, I think with Shivani. And I said, I think for 10 to 15 years, all analysts have sort of saying things what Congress should do, but Congress has closed its ears, so I will not comment on what Congress should do. But my point is, yes, Congress, think of what happened after 2024. They basically got some kind of relief, perhaps a bouncing board on which they could have built. But after that, they became too overconfident, and what was the election in which they had contested the least number of seats ever in their history, they thought this is their revival moment. And after that, there were conversations that Congress, even before election, had decided who's going to become the minister or chief minister in Maharashtra. They lost Haryana and Maharashtra, both where they had performed really well in 2024, right? And so those states should have been where Congress could have expanded a little bit more. So why Congress, I think it's really hard to answer the problem why Congress is in the shape it is, because it's all of it.
It's not so hard to answer the
so
problem,
easy
sir.
to
It's just that you have to just sit across with genuine Congresses, generational Congresses who'll turn around and say there's still about 3.5 crore Congress loyalists who are waiting for
analysis, if you want a simplistic analysis, I'll say Rahul Gandhi. But that's not the answer. Tell me why did Kodak collapsed? Tell me why did Yahoo collapse? Tell me why BlackBerry collapsed. I'm just giving you, taking you to business world.
They just refuse to evolve and look at the real picture.
Organizations
also,
collapse.
Sir, if you surround yourself with people who have never fought elections, who have never gone, put in the hard yards on ground, there's going to be a problem. And when you get a mandate of confidence, you don't get overconfident.
Anand, there is a difference between symptom and cause of a problem.
Right.
This is all a symptom of a problem. Right?
You're saying, okay, we are looking at the effect
What
and we are
is the
not
cause?
looking at the cause.
No, it's not easy to
what is
figure
the
out.
cause?
If people knew both companies and parties, once they start declining, it becomes really, really hard to figure out how
even
to
the
revive.
captain of the Indian
BJP
cricket
was
team does not get so many
two-member
matches
party.
as captain, and when you continue to lose, they change the captain, the team starts
Sure,
performing,
they-
you change the team.
But-
That's what happens. That's not happening here.
But Anand, if you can ensure that you change the captain and they will start winning, can you make that guarantee?
No, you have to change things around just to improve things and get people who have got a different thought process, because the way direction in which you are pulling the cart currently, what story did not work. But perhaps the local narrative and the Bihari telling you कि भाई ये मुद्दा है, इस पे काम करो, you don't listen to that person. You've not, right? So you've pulled the alliance partner also down. That's what's also happened.
I think Congress and RJD have a similar problem and yet a different problem, in as much as, and Professor Sandeep Shastri weigh in on this. The Congress today has restricted itself, as the Prime Minister said, down to a Muslim party, a Muslim Maowadi party, as he put it. The RJD has the same problem with the Yadavs. It's not able to expand beyond just 14-15% of the electorate. The problem is the remaining 75-80% of the electorate is consolidated around the other pole. In this case, it happens to be the BJP and the JDU. Now, Prime Minister says we will do the same thing in Bengal. We'll see how that happens next year.
Zaka, I think the trend clearly seems to be the Congress on the retreat, and the main party which is attempting to challenge the BJP is state-based parties. And that's why now the focus on Bengal, that's why next year the focus on Tamil Nadu, that's why next year the focus on Kerala, where you have state-based parties playing a critical role, at least in two of them.
Yeah.
So that's where the critical challenge to the BJP will emerge in state elections in the coming year.
No, but ultimately you need a national alternative. I mean, you're not, the BJP cannot be challenged by an amalgamation of regional parties. There has to be a national party that has to be the fulcrum around it.
And that is the great tragedy of Indian democracy at the moment, that national party, like I think Anand said something very important, that there are 3.5 crore voters who continue to vote for Congress. The problem for the Congress is that while, look, there are more than half the people in this country did not vote for BJP in the 2024 Lok Sabha elections, right? So how there is a anti-BJP constituency which can be gathered together. The problem with the Congress is constantly tilting at the windmills, fighting ideological battles and not really concentrating on the ground game. It is not, in this election, it didn't fight on the ground. It has not been able to convert its base, its sort of wider constituency of support into a cadre-based support. It doesn't have a ground game.
Look at the 40s, 50s, 60s, the Congress till the 70s. The Congress's ideology and the Congress's line was very different. Today, between 2011, 2012 till now, the Congress has gone so far left. You've got the coterie of around Mr. Rahul Gandhi is a bunch of urban Naxals.
So that's the crux of it, right?
You know,
because of this,
that's exactly
is it
what
the party
Prime Minister
that
said.
even those who don't like the BJP, do they trust the Congress to come and give growth and to have a vision for the future as opposed to just being like BJP?
Let's play what the Prime Minister said. I think the two big news points in my view are one, what he said about Bengal, Ganga flows from Bihar into Bengal, we do the same thing in Bengal next year. And the other thing that he said was about the Congress party being reduced to what he called a Muslim League Maowadi Congress. Let's listen.
बिहार के चुनाव में जब मैं जंगल राज की बात करता था, कट्टा सरकार की बात करता था, तो आरजेडी के लोग कभी विरोध नहीं करते थे, लेकिन कांग्रेस वालों को बहुत चुभता था। लेकिन आज मैं फिर कहना चाहता हूं, मैं कहूंगा अब वापस नहीं आएगी कट्टा सरकार, अब वापस नहीं आएगी, अब वापस नहीं आएगी, अब वापस नहीं आएगी। बिहार में कुछ दलों ने तुष्टीकरण वाला MY माय फॉर्मूला बनाया था, पर आज की इस जीत ने एक नया सकारात्मक MY माय फॉर्मूला दिया है, और ये है महिला और यूथ। बिहार के चुनावों ने एक और बात सिद्ध की है, अब देश का मतदाता, खास तौर पर हमारा युवा मतदाता, मतदाता सूची के शुद्धिकरण को बहुत गंभीरता से लेता है। बिहार के युवा ने भी मतदाता सूची शुद्धिकरण को जबरदस्त तरीके से सपोर्ट किया है।
Okay, so he's said that this is a rebuke to those people who questioned Indian democracy, questioned the Election Commission, the SIR exercise. I want to bring in other guests also who are joining us. Swapan Das Gupta here is in our studios. Our political guests are also joining us via OB. Pradeep Bhandari, national spokesperson of the BJP, is joining us. Syed Akram is spokesperson of the RJD. Karuna Sagar is spokesperson of the Congress Party. Swapan Das Gupta, let me ask you, from what the Prime Minister said, he has said that the Congress today has been reduced to a Maowadi Congress, Muslim League Congress, essentially catering to just a very narrow constituency, which is one, Muslims, and two, in his phrase, urban Naxals. Do you believe that that is what has happened in this election? The Congress is down to 6 seats.
In a way, the Congress has moved considerably towards the fringe. What I said in the morning, that what the Babalogs of the Congress really think as their model is really the left wing of the Democratic Party in the United States. That seems to be the model on which they're working. And actually, till the Congress manages to regain the center ground, and they seem to be gradually taking positions which edge them out of that.
Yeah.
I mean, they are very fair. You know, the CPI-ML finds the Congress very acceptable. Various other people find the Congress, you know, people of those ilk find the Congress very acceptable. And the middle ground just doesn't.
So what happens?
There is a point here.
What happens, let's say, as we go ahead to the next year's elections in Bengal, in Tamil Nadu, in Kerala, and then the year after that, for example, in Uttar Pradesh?
In these three states, at least you mentioned, it's only in Kerala where the Congress has any viable presence. In Tamil Nadu, it is completely dependent on the DMK, and on a bad day, you will see what exactly happens. On a good day, of course, they'll do very well. In Bengal, they've just been wiped out. They've been eaten up by Mamata completely. So it's only in one or two patches, you know, individual leaders who have. So, you know, the Congress, the All India Party, the umbrella party, which used to exist at one time, I think that's becoming increasingly history.
So let me get the political spokespersons also, Pradeep Bhandari, Karuna Sagar, and also we have Syed Akram of the RJD. Pradeep Bhandari, so the Prime Minister saying that this is a historic mandate, and it indeed is a historic mandate. It's as big, if not bigger, than the 2010 mandate that the NDA got, the JDU and the BJP. But he's already set the ball rolling for the future. He's talked about Ganga flowing from Bihar into Bengal. He says next year NDA Karyakartas, BJP Karyakartas will repeat this in Bengal. Is it easier said than done?
Well, Zaka, let me tell you, I am coming from Bengal. Yesterday I was in Bengal and all our Karyakartas are extremely upbeat. And after Prime Minister Narendra Modi's clarion call today, we are very, very confident that after Bihar, it will be Bengal. It will be a very well-fought election. But the Bharatiya Janata Party in Bengal is getting geared up. And Swapan Da comes from the state. He is extremely aware about it. He's been a senior. Now, let me come to what the Honorable Prime Minister has said. I believe that the biggest takeaway for me and for the nation should be that the Honorable Prime Minister has set a habit of pro-incumbency in governance. The people of Bihar, the new MY, that is the Mahila and youth, have voted across caste lines. They have defeated the earlier MY, which a lot of analysts used to speak about, which was having a sense of Tushtikaran and pseudo-secularism. But at the end of the day, it is also, your analysts have been saying why an alternative front is needed. It is established by the voters that the Congress party is not that alternative front. The people are satisfied by the Prime Minister, they are satisfied by the NDA government, and there is no sense of anti-incumbency. This is why if you see across geographies, the mandate of the BJP has been increasing. Haryana was historic, Maharashtra was even bigger, Delhi was unprecedented, and Bihar has broken all records. So why is this happening? Because the voters time and again are telling many analysts sitting in your studio, many people who have been analyzing Indian politics from a Nehruvian point of view, that India has changed. India does not believe in anti-incumbency if the incumbent is working. At the same time, India rejects anti-India politics and the fringe politics. So Congress today is not a national alternative, it's not a political opposition, it's a fringe.
Let me ask Mr. Karuna Sagar, Congress party today in Bihar is leading in only 5 seats. Last time you had 19, you're down to 1/4 of that, or 1/5 of that, down to just 5 seats. This is perhaps the worst performance of the Congress party in decades in Bihar. And what the Prime Minister is saying is this: you've reduced yourself to a Maowadi and Muslim League party. There is, I mean, today the Congress is not a national alternative to the BJP. You look at all the states that have voted after 2024 Lok Sabha, where you had the highest in 3 elections. You had 99 seats. You lost Maharashtra. You lost Haryana, which was a direct fight with the BJP. And then you had Delhi, where you were ruling for 15 years under Sheila Dikshit. Today, it's a distant number 3.
Well, Jaga, when I come to you, and good evening to all your viewers and all the fellow panelists. Jaga, we respect the mandate, but the real issue is whether this mandate is actually people's mandate or it's a manufactured mandate.
Sir, why are we again and again getting back to that very tired narrative and frankly insulting to the people of Bihar? You know, 5 crore people voted. let's respect the mandate. What do you mean by a manufactured mandate? Please tell me.
We definitely respect the mandate. As I started with saying, we respect the mandate. What I'm saying is whether people believe that it is their mandate or it's a manufactured mandate. And our argument started from the time the SIR was started. In the situation where SIR was done, within a month, you are sanitizing 8 crore voter roll. And that time there was a floods all over, it was raining all over.
Sir, you went to the people with that narrative. And the people have spoken emphatically and have said that that is not an issue for them. Because if it was, you would not be sitting at 5 seats and your alliance partner will not be sitting at 24 seats.
Jaka, how do you decide that? We have
look at today's mandate. If you can't read that from today's mandate, sir, then when will you read that?
No, let's see. We have seen what happened in Maharashtra, how the voters' numbers grew between 24 parliament election and the 24 assembly election. We have seen what happened in Haryana. It took us 1 year to decode what happened in Haryana.
Please respect the people of this country, the people of Bihar, the people of Maharashtra, Haryana. You went to all of these states with this issue. None of those people found this issue resonant enough to even give you a decent number of seats. Forget about, voting you back to power. Sopan Das Gupta, please wait. Look, there is one thing where, okay, political parties pick up an issue they think is important, but the people send out a message that it's not. In this case, the Congress has been at this for over a year now.
To be fair, Zaka, I think we are seeing two very distinct voices in the Congress. Some of the most senior leaders, and we saw Tariq Anwar in the morning, talk about how it's been a big setback and they need to look into what exactly has happened, that they've lost a big chunk of their social base, etc. And here you have some of the youngsters, of the Congress and very aggressively touting this thing about that the elections have been stolen, it's been rigged, etc., casting a question mark on the entire legitimacy of the process. And as you quite rightly pointed out, it's the turnout. That turnout, if you disrespect it so blatantly on the very day the results
exactly.
come out. I can understand if after a year and if there's anti-incumbency and you say, well, people were misled into voting for them, etc. That's part of the political game, but not this
on
sort
the day of the results.
And there are two parties which have shown astonishing arrogance today. One is this, and one is that Jan Suraj or whatever they call themselves. They have talked about that we are sort of wallowing in the sanctimoniousness of defeat. That we have been purified by a setback of this magnitude. It's just very, very
Syed
strange.
Akram of the RJD
sometimes it's worth talking about very conventional politics. It has a certain sense.
Absolutely. Pick up the issues that matter to the people will respond. Syed Akram of the RJD is also joining us. Syed Akram, do you believe that your smaller partners, as the Prime Minister said, कांग्रेस की जो दल के नेता हैं और उनके जो सहयोगी पार्टियां हैं, they will also realize कि ये डूबती हुई नैया है and there's no point hitching your wagons with the Congress. Do you believe it's the Congress that let your party down और आपकी भी स्ट्राइक रेट तो उन्हीं के बराबर ही है? शाहिद अकरम,
बहुत थैंक यू, शुक्रिया जैकब आपका, और आपके माध्यम से मैं सभी बिहार की जनता को, मतदाताओं को धन्यवाद देना चाहेंगे जिन्होंने करोड़ों मतदाताओं ने हमें वोट किया, हम पे भरोसा दिखाया है और जो जनमत है मैं उसका सम्मान करता हूं और मैं उम्मीद करता हूं कि आने वाली सरकार जो है वो हमारी सभी मांगों को पूरी करेगी और मैं वादा करता हूं कि पूरे वर्षों तक लगातार ज़मीन पर हम लड़ाई लड़ेंगे और संघर्ष करेंगे और हम बिहार को उस मुकाम तक पहुंचाएंगे जो हमारा सपना है, जो पलायन और बेरोज़गारी और लॉ एंड ऑर्डर और तमाम दूसरे जो मुद्दे हैं उसके साथ हम स्टैंड करेंगे।
नहीं, लेकिन शाहिद साहब, ये आपके जो कांग्रेस के सहयोगी हैं वो कह रहे हैं कि ये सब मुद्दे नहीं थे, सिर्फ वोट चोरी मुद्दा था, और अभी भी वो मान रहे हैं, आज के मतदान के बाद भी और के रुझान के बाद भी वो कह रहे हैं कि ये मैन्युफैक्चर्ड मैंडेट है।
नहीं, ये उनकी बात है। मेरा मानना ये है, मैं आपके बात का मैं जवाब देता हूँ। मेरा जवाब ये है कि अभी कहना कुछ भी बहुत अर्ली होगा, मुझे किसी भी निष्कर्ष पे पहुँचने के लिए थोड़ा समय चाहिए। मैं इसका विश्लेषण करूँगा, एनालिसिस करूँगा और हम लोग देखेंगे कि कहाँ पर चूक हुई है और कहाँ पे हमारे साथ कितनी धांधलियां आई हैं, वो धीरे धीरे ग्रेजुअली आपके सामने आएगा।
नहीं, ये बताइए, जब आप कैंपेन में गए थे, लोगों के सामने जाके मतलब मुद्दे आप प्रेजेंट किए थे, क्या ये SIR का मुद्दा लोगों के साथ कुछ रेजोनेंस था उनके साथ? वो लोग कह रहे थे कि ये एक बड़ा मुद्दा है इस चुनाव में?
बिल्कुल था, रेजिस्टेंस था लोगों में और लोगों ने बहुत बढ़ चढ़कर वोट किया। ज़मीन पर तो हमको वोट करते हुए देखा और जो रिजल्ट आया वो विपरीत है, तो इसकी समीक्षा की जाएगी। SIR भी मुद्दा था, पलायन भी मुद्दा था, बेरोजगारी भी मुद्दा थी, अशिक्षा भी मुद्दा था, कॉलेजों में ताले लगे हुए वो भी मुद्दा था। मुद्दे बहुत सारे हैं।
ओके,
पटना के अंदर जो शूट आउट हो रहा वो भी मुद्दा था। और इलेक्शन में जिस तरह
I'm willing to buy Mr. Syed Akram's point that it's not a lack of issues. There were issues, and some of those issues were picked up by the RJD as well. Why then did it not translate into the results that the opposition was perhaps expecting? What then went wrong, Rahul Verma?
But issues alone don't win you elections, right? Like, and especially some of these issues, like say unemployment or migration, is not an issue that was just for 2025 election.
Yeah.
See, I think any analysis of any election has to start with which alliance has a bigger, or party has a bigger social coalition to draw upon. Once you have a bigger social constituency to draw upon, if you do even average, you are drawing more.
Yeah.
So NDA alliance was drawing from a bigger social coalition. That's their first advantage. Second advantage is that Tejasvi Yadav, while he has a legacy to build on, that 25 to 30% vote, he continues to sort of like face the disadvantage or the narrative that has been created against Lalu Yadav Ravri rule. It is a hard challenge. No other dynasty, in a sense like say Akhilesh Yadav or MK Stalin, or they don't face this kind of sort of like challenge in terms of like that they have to undo the past. So that becomes the second challenge to them. The third, I think, is somehow there is a contradiction in that alliance to begin with. Right?
Congress and RJD?
Yeah, they were not able to figure out who's going to contest how many seats. And like, in fact, in the crucial, once the election got announced, when they should have been hitting the ground, they actually were figuring out who's contesting which seat.
Yeah.
They're flying to Delhi and Patna and beating their sort of like Prabharis.
Even in the last day of nomination, they were not able to resolve it. They were after the last day of nomination, there were supposedly 13 friendly fights. It's after that the two candidates then withdrew, including the VIP chief's brother.
I think,
believe.
Zaka, you could also argue that these guys peaked too early in the campaign.
Okay.
You know, they were getting crowds early on, and they kind of thought that I think there is this school of politics that thinks we have issues, it's our birthright to win, and therefore, you know, once you're getting some support, you're winning an election.
Yeah.
I think
you
the
don't need to do
BJP and the JDU were fighting the election on the ground, and they recovered a lot of ground thereafter and left these guys behind. They are still fighting yesterday's battle. So I think that was the big difference.
I think if you look at the two coalitions, the NDA coalition, a imaginative strategy, a realistic strategy, and a clear strategy. On the other hand, if you look at the Gathbandhan strategy, the question comes up, was there a strategy at all?
Incoherence.
I mean, they seem to be working in fits and starts, and the left hand did not know what the right hand was doing. One was emphasizing something, the other was emphasizing
11 friendly
the other.
fights, whatever friendly fight means.
So how does the voter build trust in a coalition which is not speaking a common voice?
Yeah.
So first thing that Rahulji said, that issues don't win elections. I believe right issues do win elections. You have to choose the right issues which are resonating with public and on the ground.
No, but back in August,
SIR was not an issue on the ground, Zaka. I come from Bihar. I have been there. I have spoken to people. There always, whenever there is an election, some people will have some issues in कि vote नहीं registered नहीं हुआ है, वहाँ नहीं गए हैं, घर का पता बदल गया है, 0 seats, and then at the end everything got sorted because it was done phase wise. Election Commission took time, it cleared it, and then that's how the diseased voters, the one who has migrated permanently, were removed. So and please do not underestimate the political sense of Bihar people. They may have not be like
Harvard literate, but they understand politics very well. I mean, a commoner in Bihar would explain you politics much better than probably all of us today. In a very small sentence, they would do that. And that is why it is impossible that if, as per Rahul Gandhi's claim, 80 lakhs people, voters deleted was not something. Secondly, why did MGB's promises did not work is because the promises alone do not do anything. You know, it happened in Rajasthan with Ashok Gehlot, you know, also came up with monetary, you know, Nyaya Yojana, it was called. It was rejected. Why? Because people are saying, people are saying, do you have credibility? Do you have a past history? I will check and there's everything. It's not just promises. It's also about credibility. And the last and the least, 30 seconds, Congress today doesn't stand for any ideology, any vote bank. It keeps shifting between this to that. This sometimes it talks about Dalits, sometimes it talks about Adivasi, sometimes it's talking about OBC. They are really confused. They are not really
who they represent and what they stand for.
Time after time, various regional parties have complained that they were over generous to the Congress. It was there in Tamil Nadu earlier.
Yeah.
Now we find this in Bihar.
Yeah.
I guess it will be there in Uttar Pradesh, etc. Now the question really arises, why do they still accommodate Congress to such an extent? The reason is because they feel that the national party level, plus the fact that the Congress is a pre-sold item, you know, it's got a collective memory of the people have a collective memory, gives them a certain advantage. I don't think that's going to work any longer.
So Pradeep Bhandari, what it basically then boils down to is, in next year's elections, the elections in the year after that, Congress's allies are going to turn around and say that, you know, we're not going to accommodate the Congress beyond a point because clearly it's not worked for the RJD. In fact, last time this was a big sticking point. The Congress contested 70 and they ended up winning just 19. Had the Congress won 5 more, the whole Sarkar would have changed. In this case, they fought 61 and they've ended up with 5 now. Pradeep Bhandari.
Well, if you recall, Zaka, the Honorable Prime Minister used a term for the Congress party, which is a Parjivi party. The Congress party, whatever votes, even the 5 seats you are speaking about right now, or the single-digit vote share of around 7 to 8.5% which the Congress has got, it has only got because of some support from the RJD. So on its own, the Congress today is a political fringe. It's no longer a mainstream political alternative. It only harps on other vote bank of other parties. So if you leave the DMK, the Congress is non-existent in Tamil Nadu. The Congress is non-existent in Bengal. The Congress does not even have 45% vote share in Assam. So the Congress on its own today has become a political fringe, and this is why if you see, Zaka, the Congress party, when it comes to power, coincidentally in a state once, it has never been able to give 2 successive governments in the last 15 to 20 years. So I ask your panelists, if for example, Himachal Pradesh, the Congress party is in power, but the Congress party has never given a government in Himachal Pradesh for 10 consecutive years. Whereas under Prime Minister Narendra Modi, it's the BJP which has given the most consecutive government, which means the people of this country are also giving a message to the opposition who are trying to align with the Congress party that we do not want Congress or Congress-led alliance. So whosoever has aligned with the Congress has also suffered. So the RJD today has suffered precisely because of this.
So Mr. Sagar, you are hearing
that Rahul Gandhi has been rejected in wholesome by the people.
You're hearing the views of the panelists, you're hearing the people of Bihar, you're hearing what everyone is having to say. And this is the reality today, that even your allies are getting to the point where the Congress has become a liability. Now, you need to ask yourself why.
Jaka, this is the opinion of the panelists who are sitting here, the political analysts, your analysts who are sitting here. This kind of a Congress bashing is not what Mr. Akram thinks. It's not what Mr. M.K. Stalin thinks. It's not Congress ultimately is able to bring an ideological coalition against BJP. And Congress is the only national party which is capable of bringing all the other forces together and make a strong presence. And that's what we showed in 2024 when this 400 ke par was brought down to 240.
But so sir, what has happened after that?
Congress remains that national glue around which other parties come together and express themselves. So it's not liability, is not eating into each other. We are.
Sir,
there is
you
a
said, okay,
complementarity
please tell,
in terms
please
of
tell me,
votes.
please tell me, you said 2024, this is why you went to 99 seats, BJP got reduced to 240. BJP is still in power, that's a different matter. What happened after that? What happened in Maharashtra? What happened in Haryana? What has happened today in Bihar? What happened in Delhi? You know, election after state election. I mean, I was speaking to one of the panelists just today and said, you know, on 4th of June 2024, Rahul Gandhi had wind behind his backs. Today, we don't know. I mean, he's got a mountain to climb, and sadly, the reality is, I don't think Congress Party and its strategists have even figured out, you know, what the problem is.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's your opinion. It's not that the Congress Party doesn't strategize. See, like even for today's election, as we are talking, the votes have been counted in certain constituencies. So it always takes a while to.
Okay, you tell me, sir, what according to you was the reason for this drubbing that you and your alliance partner have received today? Please tell me, in one line, what is the one major reason you believe?
No, as I said, it's impossible. It's not like 2-minute noodles, you know. A general election like this with 243 constituencies require each constituency's dynamics are different.
Sir,
our allies have different social.
At the end of the day, it's an election for a Vidhan Sabha. At the end of the day, it's an election to choose the next chief minister. You had a coalition on the one hand. You have a 20-year, you know, incumbent chief minister. Surely there's got to be at least one reason that you can cite for why you are not able to displace the incumbent. Why the people of Bihar did not believe you could do that, or did not believe you to do that?
You see, this time you saw a very strange spectacle that just before the elections and during the election, the way money was being distributed by the government. So it was it was not even legitimate. On 6th, there was the first election was held. And 7th, the last tranche was given to women on 7th of this month.
Okay, so it's about money. Pradeep Bhandari, you gave 10,000 rupees. It's like a vote bribe to women, and they've taken the bribe and they've responded to you in kind. It's not vote chori, it's vote bribe. Pradeep Bhandari.
Well, if the Congress thinks so, I believe they are rejecting and in fact disrespecting the crores of voters of Bihar. It's said, and every analyst would agree, that the Bihar is politically the wisest. Bihar was the state which voted against emergency of Indira Gandhi. Today, on the birthday of Jawaharlal Nehru, Bihar has shown the door to the Congress party and Rahul Gandhi. And if Congress party spokesperson believes that it was just 10,000, well then let them believe so. We want the Congress to be living in this fool's paradise because the Congress thinks that 2024 was their victory. But the reality is that after 60 years, you saw somebody coming back to power for the third consecutive time. Let me make an open clarion. In fact, let me go a step further. Bihar 2025 Zaka is a trailer for you of what will happen in 2029 in the country, because the people of this country are tired of this precise arrogance of the Congress party, where coincidentally because of a political black swan they could reach double-digit figure and they thought that they have come into power, and this arrogance has been rejected by the people of this country in Haryana, and now even in Bihar, let them be arrogant, let them respect the mandate, disrespect the mandate. People will continue to give response.
आपके अलायंस पार्टनर कांग्रेस के प्रवक्ता अभी बोल रहे थे कि ये जो 10,000 नीतीश कुमार ने दिया महिलाओं के लिए, यही एक कारण था जिसकी वजह से आप हार चुके हैं. और 33 सीट्स, इंडिया अलायंस इज एट 33 सीट्स, आरजेडी इज एट 24, लास्ट आई चेक 23 सीट्स. सिर्फ ये 10,000 का चुनाव था, इसीलिए आप हार गए.
कई फैक्टर हैं इसमें, ये भी एक फैक्टर है और बिल्कुल हो सकता है, बट आप चुनाव हार गए. मुझे लगता है कि थोड़ा सा जो अभी आपने भारतीय जनता पार्टी का केंद्रीय कार्यालय से जो अभी प्रायोजित कार्यक्रम देखा और प्रधानमंत्री जी ने जिस तरह से भाषा का इस्तेमाल किया, मुझे नहीं लगता कि आप अपने पेशे की तरफ से अगर आप देखें, अपने प्रोफेशन के नज़रिए से भी, तो आप कभी भी उसको जायज़ ठहराएंगे. और बिहार के अंदर में जिस तरह से भाषा की मर्यादाएं लांघी गई, जिस तरह से सामंतवाद का, फेडरलिज्म का पूरा एक वर्चस्व दिखाया गया,
जो प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी की मां को गाली बके, आज आप बताओगे भाषा की मर्यादा. प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी की मां को गाली बकी, कांग्रेस पार्टी ने छठी मैया का
प्रदीप
अपमान
भंडारी
किया,
सुनिए,
बिहार
प्रदीप
के लोगों को
भंडारी
गाली
जीत गए हो,
बकी,
इसका
और
मतलब
आप
हाई मोरल
बताएंगे,
नहीं ले
आप
सकते आप।
सुनेंगे।
आप जीत गए हैं तो इतना हाई मोरल नहीं ले, हम आपसे नहीं बात कर रहे हैं। नहीं सुनिए, ए प्रदीप भंडारी सुनो, अरे सुनो ना।
One second. No, let's not descend into this. Let's not descend into this. But again, I want to bring it back into the studio here. Everybody is saying it's this 10,000 election. Sujata Pandey, you are from there, you're a woman. Is this the only thing that turned this election? Is this the reason why
No, in
NDA
fact,
won?
in all the interviews, and I'm sure CNN also would have encountered those women who had not got 10,000, and they still said कि नहीं हम तो फूल पे ही डालेंगे. It's because they had the trust. Like I always saying कि it is not just about 10,000. It is a generational politics of Nitish Kumar, which started way back in 2006 with the cycle, with Poshak, with say scholarship, with Panchayat reservation, with reservation in the Sarkar, the women for police force, and then Jivika Didi continued with. This was the last nitrogen boost that you have to go run on the highway. So this is just not. And then please do not say that this is a freebie or boat kharid liya. 10,000 for a woman in Bihar means a lot. She would have cleared her dues by an NBFC person who must be knocking at doors of her saying that मेरे को वापस करो. She didn't have 400 rupees or 500 rupees. She would have settled that account. She would have bought cattle. She would have got her child to the school. She would have settled everything. So this is just not some freebie. This is about empowering a woman. If you know.
So I want to take this forward in the final few minutes. We have Asaduddin Owaisi also joining us at the end of the show. But Sopan Das Gupta, taking this to the states that are going to polls next year, and the Prime Minister was very clear today. Ganga flows from Bihar to Bengal. Do you think the NDA will be able to do in Bengal what they've done today in Bihar?
Well, the intention is very much there. But of course, the same strategies don't work. I mean, one size doesn't fit all. Bengal, you've got a much more formidable opponent for two reasons. That's why it's a party which is entrenched in power, which has a stranglehold over and has made the administration very, very partisan. Thirdly, it's a state marked by violence of the kind which Bihar has forgotten now. So you have all these, and against that you have a BJP which is still not organizationally as strong as that.
No, but the SIR is being made into an issue by Mamata also.
Of course, she's making it into an issue, but she's also cooperating.
Okay.
What is happening is that she is taking over the SIR process because she controls the local administration. She's done it very cleverly, and in fact, she might end up being a beneficiary of the SIR process. But if the SIR just confines itself to just deleting the people who died, etc., that will be a good thing.
See, I think Congress could have also used SIR effectively.
How?
See, simple thing, right? SIR exercise gave them an opportunity to mobilize voters, right? So a party which was not on the ground, at least in August, September, went on the ground, did all the yatra. But your sort of like soup is not the main course, right? They should have stopped there and then have started focusing on other things. Your cadre was mobilized, you have established a connect. That was not on the issue on which you were going to win the election, right? It had done one purpose for you. Basically, it created an opportunity for you to go on the ground. And that's what they should have done.
And also, once the roles were prepared and the people whose names were deleted, a large number of them were either dead or had moved out of Bihar, then who exactly are you fighting for? Because the others have found their names in the list.
Yeah, exactly. And if you think, like one of the claims that you are making, that it's opposition voters who have been deleted, then when the elections were announced, you should have, by constituency, put a list of, okay, Mr. Swapan Das Gupta, Rahul Verma, these are voters who are here and they are likely to be our voters. You didn't do any of those things.
No, so I want to,
Congress did not fight BJP. It started fighting with Election Commission. So the entire narrative was between the Gyanesh Kumar and the Congress party, which was not fighting the election, which was not a party in the question for the election.
I need to go. I want to thank all our guests, both here in the studio as well as our political guests who joined us from OB. I want to go across to Mr. Asaduddin Owaisi, the president of the AIMIM. He's now joining us. So, Mr. Owaisi, first of all, congratulations. I believe last I checked, you had as much, if not more, MLAs than the Congress party. So, congratulations on that. Why do you believe the people of Seemanchal in particular, where you've got all these 5 seats from, have reposed faith in your party and your MLAs again?
Well, I'm thankful to the Almighty Allah Subhanahu wa Taala for giving us this victory. My heartfelt thanks to the people of Seemanchal who have once again reposed faith in us, and we will continue to work hard for them to improve their living standards, to do justice to the people of Seemanchal, where human development indicators are the lowest. And our four MLAs were taken away from us.
Correct.
And unfortunately, RJD thought that they would weaken MIM, but our relationship, our bond, our love continues with the people of Seemanchal, and I'm very thankful to them. I'm thankful to my state president, Mr. Akhtarul Iman, Aftab Sahab and Adil Hassan. And Adil Hassan, by the way, Zaka is still 600 votes behind, and in Balrampur some counting is been done. So I'm hopeful that even Adil will win. But anyway, we will continue.
Okay. So like you said, the last time also you had 5 MLAs, and from whatever I remember, 4 out of those 5 MLAs flipped. They went to the RJD after they won on an MIM ticket. Now you have won in those very same seats. The voters of those very same seats have voted for your MLA, different MLAs, but your same party. What sort of message do you believe this sends out to the so-called secular parties, the RJD, for example, who poached away your MLAs?
Well, the people have replied, people have replied very clearly, and they have said very categorically that what you have done was unacceptable. You have tried to steal the mandate that the people of those 4 assembly constituencies had given to MIM party. I am thankful to the people of those assembly constituencies, and I hope that the party which did this unfortunate thing and unconstitutional thing would learn a lesson. But a befitting reply has been given by the people of the assembly constituencies.
I want to get one final word from you, Mr. Owaisi. What must be particularly pleasing for you also is that, Congress party, other so-called secular parties, the sort of custodians of secularism in this country, they've been berating you for the last 10 years, calling you, B team of the BJP, etc., etc. It must be particularly pleasing today that you have more MLAs or as many MLAs as the Congress party does. What do you say to those criticisms that they've made of you over the last many years, that you're actually playing the BJP's game?
Zaka, do you think or you assume that they will stop berating me? You see, if you are in politics, this will continue, and one should have a thick skin and what do you call that, a tunnel vision, and to work hard, simple as that. But this will not stop. I know, God Almighty, Allah Subhanahu wa Taala has given us this victory, and the people of Seemanchal and Bihar have reposed faith in us, by giving us victory in these 5 assembly constituencies, and in other places also we got some good number of votes. So we will continue this berating, these allegations will not stop. But my hope is that please introspect. My only hope, and I want to say in particular to the Muslim minority, that please don't become voters, mere voters, become citizens with rights. Please don't just go out and vote for a party and then forget about yourself. You have to start taking votes. Then only all these rights which are being right now denied to the Muslim community, you will develop a leadership, you will be able to stop communalism and fascism. And I hope that a strong message has gone out today, and I hope that can I just take half a minute and say that I was really shocked to hear what Akhilesh Yadav is saying. He's blaming the SIR now. How long are you going to blame? This thing has to stop. You want to blame SIR, you want to blame EVM. The whole thing is that why is it that the BJP is occupying such a mind space? Why is it that the BJP is able to win elections after another? So I hope that these political parties, instead of blaming me from tomorrow onwards, I welcome them. I will take this credit on my shoulder and wear it as a badge of honor. But do some introspection. You don't want to take everyone along. Okay. You talk about MY, but you only want M votes and you want to rule over everyone. Now this is a big lesson for everyone.
Okay, Mr. Owaisi, thank you very much for joining us here on CNN News 18, and congratulations to your MLAs who have won today. Thank you for joining us. All right, that's a wrap, but continuing coverage of the battle for Bihar, the verdict, it's a almost unanimous one, 200 plus seats. It's the best performance of the NDA since 2010, second best since the JDU and the BJP, in fact, came into alliance in the 1990s. What's behind it and what comes next? Rahul Shivshankar will analyze that right on the other side with hard facts.
This is News 18 Network. India's largest news network.
Let's go straight across to BJP MP Ravi Kishan ji. Ravi Kishan ji, namaste. This is Anand Narasimhan here. बधाई हो आपको.
नमस्ते.
ये आपको मैं अलग कहूं कि ये कहूं कि कौन कौन है जिनको घमंड है अब भी, जबकि उनका स्कोर कार्ड बहुत झंड दिख रहा है.
आपको मेरी आवाज आ रही है?
जी जी आ रही है रवि किशन जी.
जी, पूरे बिहार को मैं प्रणाम करता हूं. प्रधानमंत्री मोदी जी, नीतीश बाबू पर विश्वास.
पर एक बात,
ऐतिहासिक जो जीत हुई है ये अनबिलीवेबल था, लेकिन इतना पता था 160 विल क्रॉस, बट ये नहीं मालूम था कि तो ये.
Why did you think you will cross 160, Ravi ji? Because see, this is a market you own. यहाँ के आप सुपरस्टार हैं. इस जगह में आपका जितना स्टारडम है वो शायद राइवलरी उनकी मनोज भैया के साथ ही होगी, लेकिन मैं आपसे जानना चाहता हूं कि यहाँ पर क्यों आपको लगा कि 160 भी क्रॉस हो जाएगी एनडीए? व्हाई? क्योंकि लोग तो कह रहे थे
जब हम सभा करने जाते थे, मोदी जी का नाम, उनके लिए उत्साह और माता बहनों का उत्साह, नीतीश जी की छवि, और जो विरोधियों ने जो मंदिर को लेके, धर्म को लेके प्रचार किया, जाति को लेके किया, उससे सब, और शिक्षित यदुवंशियों ने, माता बहनों ने, युवाओं ने ये खेल इतना विराट कर दिया. जो आप रिजल्ट देख रहे हैं, इसमें ये मैं आपको बताना चाहता हूं, इसमें शिक्षित यदुवंशियों का बहुत बड़ा योगदान है, माता बहनों का बहुत बड़ा योगदान है. जो अभी रिजल्ट देख रहे हैं ये बहुत मैसिव सा, इसीलिए बिकॉज वी गॉट ऑल द न्यू वोटर्स. हमको आरजेडी के वोटर मिले, युवा वोटर यादव समाज से मिले, जो पढ़े लिखे हैं, जिनमें जो मोदी जी और नीतीश जी में अपना भविष्य, और बिहार ने अपना भविष्य सुरक्षित किया है, अपना भविष्य तैयार किया, और उन्होंने विश्वास किया. ये हिस्टोरिकल है. 2010 में यही रिजल्ट आया था और बिहार उसके बाद से छलांग लगाया था. बिहार ने अपने भविष्य के लिए, और जहां पे छठ माह पर गलत टिप्पणी राहुल जी ने जो कहा था, प्रधानमंत्री मोदी जी पर जो उन्होंने कहा था, वहां के पिकनिक मना के पौंड में खाली कूद के मछली पकड़ना, ये सारी उनको पता चला ये सारे लोग क्या करेंगे. हर घर में नौकरी के झूठे प्रलोभन, उनको विश्वास नहीं था कि ये झूठ करके लोग अपना लिए खाली एक सीट अपने लिए, अपने घर के लिए, अपने महल के लिए लोग सीट लाना चाहते हैं, और वो सारा बैकफायर किया. विरोधी, अब देखिए इस देश में प्रधानमंत्री मोदी जी ने इतनी बड़ी लकीर खींच दी है कि विरोधियों के पास अब बोलने के लिए कुछ नहीं कि वो क्या करेंगे, क्योंकि मोदी जी और नीतीश बाबू ने इतना कुछ कर दिया बिहार में.
पर आपको
उनको पता है कि ये सारे लोग झूठ बोलते रहे इतने साल, जात की राजनीति करते रहे, बिरादरी की राजनीति करते रहे. इन लोगों को रोकना बहुत जरूरी है, और पूरे बिहार ने इनको रोक दिया और ऐसी ऐतिहासिक जीत की तरफ एनडीए को बढ़ा दिया.
तो क्या आप ये कहेंगे रवि जी कि महिला और युवा ये नया एमवाई फैक्टर है, मुस्लिम यादव
परिवार की राजनीति खत्म हो जाएगी. अब उत्तर प्रदेश में भी आप देखिएगा इसका अगला चुनाव, मोदी जी और योगी जी जब कॉम्बिनेशन में आएंगे 27 में, तो वहां देखिएगा. बंगाल में जब हम लोग अब एंटर करेंगे, हम ही लोग प्रचारक के रूप में जब वहां पे जाएंगे, मोदी जी की बातों को रखेंगे, अब बंगाल भी जाग जाएगा, क्योंकि बंगाल बिहार से जुड़ा हुआ है, और इसका सीधा इफेक्ट बंगाल पर आएगा.
एसआईआर का कितना फर्क पड़ा होगा? एसआईआर का कितना फर्क पड़ा होगा?
ये रिजल्ट 2 स्टेट पर बहुत बड़ा प्रभाव करेगा। वो याद रखिएगा मेरी बात, एक बंगाल पर, दूसरा उत्तर प्रदेश
पर। ये एसआईआर का कितना फर्क पड़ा होगा कि ये वोटर लिस्ट
ये देखिए, उनको पता है कि एसआईआर की बातें इन्होंने जो झूठी फैलाई, वोट चोरी की बातें जो, इससे बहुत, प्रधानमंत्री मोदी जी पर कोई भी टिप्पणी मैं विरोधियों के आपके माध्यम से कहना चाहता हूं, जनता इस देश में अपने दिल पर लेती है। उनको गलत आप बोलेंगे, उसी दिन आप जनता की नजर से गिर जाएंगे और आप अपनी हार को तैयार कर रहे हैं। तो जब भी मोदी जी पर कोई भी प्रहार किया इन लोगों ने, जनता ने उसको वोट से रिटर्न में जवाब दिया और उन लोगों को नस्ते नाबूद करके वो पार्टियां खत्म कर दी। वो विरोधी लोगों की पार्टियां खत्म कर रहे हैं। जितना मोदी जी को वार करोगे, वो शिव भक्त हैं, उतना आप लोगों का नाश होगा, विनाश होगा।
जी, लेकिन एक आप भी शिव भक्त हैं, हम जानते हैं, लेकिन एक बात बताइए कि ये महिलाएं इतना क्यों बढ़ चढ़ के सुशासन बाबू को वोट की हैं? ये 10,000 ही इफेक्ट है या एक ट्रस्ट फैक्टर?
ये पूरा कॉम्बिनेशन है। 10,000 को भी का योगदान है, युवाओं को, 1 करोड़ लोगों को रोजगार, जो नौकरी मिलेगी सरकारी, वो भी 1 करोड़ लखपति दीदी बनेगी, वो भी, सड़क है, विकास है, अनगिनत एयरपोर्ट है, मखाना इंडस्ट्री भी है। इसमें मोदी जी का विश्वास है, मोदी जी की कथनी करनी में अंतर नहीं। उन्होंने अगर वचन दिया, खत्म बात, वहां पर देश मान जाता है कि मोदी जी ने बोला फिनिश नाउ, फिनितो, ये होना ही होना। नीतीश बाबू का चेहरा एक
Motorola Edge 60 Pro, the true flagship killer.
Viewers, the NDA has delivered a stunning result in Bihar, riding what can only be called a BJP wave. Yes, a BJP wave to secure an unprecedented 5th term. A BJP wave because the party has not only beaten expectations but has actually outperformed its own senior